Kurt, we had a problem last time. First podcast with Carlo Van Rompuy. It was so good, so we had to find someone who could do it even as good as Carlo. Especially since we were recording in English this time, so it's an extra challenge for us. But we managed to get Tom van Gaver here today.
Hello.
Hello. We had to be patient because Tom was in Pattaya, and you, Sjoerd.
I didn't have
meantime,
time.
Where were you?
Meantime, you became father for the second time.
Yes,
so,
indeed. Yeah. Last time we spoke about it, right?
Yeah. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Yeah, everything went well. His name is Mats.
Diane.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Diana, my girlfriend's also okay, and
Mats.
baby is not crying a lot. He's doing very well.
Yeah.
He's sleeping quite well, but when he's awake, middle of the night, I always, for 1%, regret it. But in the end, I'm happy with both of my children. So, everything is good.
Yeah, that's most important.
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, we had a little, not argument, but I was wondering if I could call my son Mathieu, like Mathieu from the pool. That's a good name, right?
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's a common name too.
Yeah, but then he told me, no, I don't want that, but I would prefer Wout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, also a good name. But you chose
Good
Mats.
name.
It's
Mats.
because of Mats Peterson.
Well, the ID comes from Mats
Yeah?
Peterson, indeed. Yeah.
It's I didn't know.
No?
Yeah, it's nice. You did it.
Indeed, yeah. and Jori, it's 4 p.m. I think around 4 p.m. It's almost time for dinner.
Yeah.
I heard that Tom van Gaver, congratulations, won the extra final together with Wendela Wiersma.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I guess we will be going for something to eat, right?
I don't know, PIPA Podcast.
We have to check with finance then. I guess.
I know good restaurant, it's not far.
Okay, good.
But you survived Pattaya, Tom?
Yeah, Pattaya was good, like always. We always have nice time with our team, our camera girl.
Yes, he was there too,
Yes. So it's always interesting to go, to be in the atmosphere, of course, but also we can handle the birds, all the first ones of the first final, and it's always interesting to see all different types of pigeons. So the ones that win mostly, and the ace birds. But I always say you cannot put one line inside. You see all different kinds of pigeons: big, long, small, medium, ugly, very nice ones. You see all kinds of birds. So. I don't know, but maybe it's also like in Pattaya, it's a lot of tailwind, and then maybe now in the extra final, other pigeons come in the front. I don't know, but it's interesting always to go and travel. We are still a bit young and we can do the traveling. Maybe when I get older, we'll be finished. I don't know. I'm not so a good breeder like him so far. So.
And did you also handle some pigeons from Victoria Falls in the past?
No, Victoria Falls. We were in the loft, but it was after the final. So, but we do African Pro. It's very interesting to see because maybe it's one of the races who is very consistent every week, and the distance they get trained very good. A bit like we race in Belgium and in Holland and Germany, I think. So it's also a good race
to
test.
Similar,
the birds. Yes.
Seems nice to handle those birds too.
Yeah, and we work a bit for PIPA, of course. Yes, it's nice.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different setting, different language, but the same format. So
maybe you can explain where we are, Jori.
We're in the elderly house, the house of Gijzelbrecht, but now it's empty. Upstairs we were working. Editorial office, IT office is all there, and it's still like it was when they lived here.
In the past, also the father also did the practice with the vet. So a lot of people, when I was younger, I was here one time to vaccinate the birds. So it was here around the corner. So.
Tom, we will start with some short questions. You had already a lot of them now, but what is the best pigeon you ever had on your loft?
Oh, my best pigeon. Oh, in racing or in breeding? Because
you can choose. It's equal.
The best one in racing and in breeding was my Ricky. Still is there. So that was really for racing. Was a super bird. Back in the days, I won all the championships. Also, he won all kind of titles, and then became also a super breeder. First in Belgium with national ace birds still, but now this year in the one loft race is crazy with paired with my sister of Finn. So.
He is also grandfather of the first in the final in Pattaya, in the extra final?
Yeah, so I paired them up. So Ricky is he's like 50% through records van the Nabele line. So yeah, he's a bit, when they come in my loft and they see Finn or they see Ricky, they say, oh, Finn, it's more nicer, but Ricky is a really smart pigeon. I also checked the genes now. He has some special genes. I don't know anything about it. Ruben will talk to me, but he said, oh, it's very special. But he needs a bit body for breeding nice youngsters. So the biggest sister Finn I got in the loft, I put on him already 2-3 years. And yeah, the results are amazing. So this year in the one loft race, so the first ace bird in Algarve gold race is a grandchild of that pair. My best pigeon in African Pro is a grandchild. Then I could send some free birds to Czechia to the Quattro race. I forgot about it, and then I was in September. My phone began to ding 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 ding. I say, what's happening now? 3 pigeons came together. Yeah, mine was only third inside, but they were a half hour in front of the other ones, so it was a hard race. So again, a grandchild of the Ricky with the sister Finn. And then also my best one in Pattaya last year was from that pair. Then I had the 4th national ace this year with the yearling on the long distance with only 0.5% that the pigeon would have won last year, but the level was so high this year, so it was only 4th, but very good, of course. Also grandchild, and then now, last week, I was checking, no birds yet. I go out to clean the loft, I come inside. Because I had my own birds still, some in, and I also got with Wendela one team because she can borrow 2 or 3 birds of me because she also want to raise a bit further distance and we come along good and young people, so we want to help each other. So and before I activate each 50%, so I paid her 50% to activate because it's a lot of money, of course. For me it's okay, but for her I don't know. So we help each other, and then I look at the screen, I see her name, I say I got the ring numbers, she still had 6 birds, 5 were from the co-breeding. I say, oh fuck, I hope it's a good number. Oh yeah, if I say yes. Yeah. And then I didn't know how much money we won, and then I checked, oh yeah, 60, 62, 50% is 30. It's nice.
$30,000, yeah, good money. And there's a funny story about Ricky, I guess.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was in the total auction, but he was not paid for.
Yes. So at that moment, because I split it with my ex-partners, I will tell all the story, but but we were successful in the day, but then it was time to go each own
separate
way. Yeah, but at that time I invested a lot of money in the birds. So all my money I got from the work, from the police work, 10 years, I all invest in the birds, and I got 11,000 euro left on my account. That was all. I didn't have house, I didn't get anything. I had to rebuild everything to be successful again. So I only want to go up, no down. But then they call me from PIPA, oh yeah, Ricky is not paid. What you will do, you have your first choice to have it back. I look at my account, and I paid. I paid them back because he was still in my loft. So yeah, and then the year later, the first yearlings I raised was little Ricky, second Olympiad, second national ace. Then I had another one, top 10 national ace, and then the year later, he paid me back very fast.
You went all in, but he warned you immediately.
Yeah, but at that time it was it was difficult.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but at the end. Everything will be okay.
And what is his age? Is he from 2013?
He's from 2013. Yeah. So in the loft he's a bit like, grandpa, but still the eggs are full. So it's a good grandpa. Yeah. But I don't take too many eggs, so he mostly bring up the own youngster. He's doing good. I win today. I win 2 youngster of him. So
perfect.
Yeah, it's nice.
And you keep them for the racing loft?
I will. It's already last year. I say from Ricky, Finn, and the Finn pair. I will not race again, youngsters. From Finn, I raced one last year. I had it till the last race, and a national race of Argenton. So not the last national race, but the race before. It flew the second national in the zone. That pigeon. Then the last race, I lose it. So then.
When you regret it.
Yeah. But okay, it's pigeon sport.
It happens. Especially
with
your
favorites.
With the favorites. Yes.
What is the most valuable piece of advice you ever received from another fancier?
Oh, mostly I do my own things. I listen everywhere, but I have a big filter. But good thing. I always look up, but I cannot remember who said that to me. So, I have a lot of people around help me. Best advice was back then to go my own way. Like Bart always told me, you should do your own thing. It will be difficult. But at the time, because it also the formula worked also good. But the levels were a bit different. I wanted to go up maybe much faster.
It's, you had a big dream.
I have big dream. I know I would be not the best footballer or the best I don't know what. But in pigeon sport, I know I have something in myself.
But you are not full-time pigeon fancier.
No, I still work with the police. So I like my job with the police. It's close to my loft. I love to do also my work and be outside of the birds as well, because when you're whole the day in the world of the pigeon, it's very nice, but.
And what's your job at the police?
Yeah, my job is so we have the big boss sit here, and I sit next door together with my colleague, and I do more the financial stuff, and my colleague do more HR stuff, and together. So every month. We have all from the 4 cities. So we have one police station, and it's. We have 130 people working for 4 cities, so little cities. So 70,000 people live in the zone, and we have to arrange the police thing. I'm no police guy, so I see they have everything to work. Yes, we work in the office because when you work police, you have to do. Your hours and shift and stuff, that will be difficult with the pigeon. Yes.
But it's nice to hear, because I think a lot of young fanciers have an issue with having a job and racing pigeons. It's not always as easy.
It's difficult when you work from that hour to that hour, and it's a lot of control inside. Everything is possible, of course, but with me, I built everything in my home. It can be fast. So I'm busy now 4 years. Now I'm finished also with the average, the system how I race. So in the day, all my birds sit in the average, also the cocks, because all the old guys say, oh no, the cocks need to be inside in the loft, and no, all outside in the average. Okay, the averages are made that the wind break, of course, but it all works, and it takes some time to arrange everything, but. Now,
at some point,
I can work fast now, and
it's all about time management.
Time management, and how you have to decide what is easy for you, and the pigeon will adapt to your way, not the other way.
In ancient days, it was the other way, I guess, with a lot of fanciers, and nowadays you hear it a lot.
Yeah,
pigeons have to adapt
to you, and before a lot of older people. In Belgium we had 20, 30 years ago, it was they raised 50 years like this, and it's like this, and it's not possible to do other way. And then some younger guys like me came, and oh no, but at the end we go.
what is the national victory you liked most, you enjoyed the most?
We had 4, 3 in my loft and 1 when I raced together with the other guy. Yeah, they were all very special because 2018 was the first year I restarted with yearlings. It was very, very difficult year for me. I worked day and night in the job and also with a very hard season. I had nothing. I just, because all the yearlings that need to race because we sold everything. Yeah. So my loft normally was empty, but I know we would split and the pigeons get sold. So I put eggs with my brother-in-law and also like some Bostun. Before I helped him to race with the birds, and now all the guys I helped, I say, now you have to breed me all youngsters. And then like some give me his the third round, he put 1 basket, here they are all from your strain, okay, crossed with the ones he got then from Nicolas, so I take some out, some all cocks. Then also with my brother-in-law, also I take some out the all third round. And then I only got the third round, they just been trained in 2017, I just trained them. And then also 1 guy who raced very good before, but he get old and he know he would die. But normally it was very difficult to have pigeons from him. Was a small loft, but he raced 3 national victories in 2-3 years time. He was a phenomenon, and he knew I would split with the other guy. And he called me one day. He said, "You can come with me." I was there. Yeah, I know you will race alone. Here, my cocks, I will not race them because I only race hens. You can have my cocks. But it's only 500 meters from me, so I could learn them, move them with me, and then train them as yearling. I thought he would give me for free, but then he said, "Oh yeah, you always have to pay me 5,000." Okay, yes. Again, money gone. But I picked him out, and then 2 months later he was dead. So he died, but he didn't tell anybody. But he was sick at the end. So I trained the birds, and in the beginning I was used to, from the first race I was there. Normally I'm there, and also in the speed races. But my birds were all like stupid. I know they can have something, but they weren't stupid. Yes,
not prepared.
But I continue every week inside, and then. After 4 national races on the middle distance, so the 500 kilometer, then the first brieven came, so the first long distance. I say, okay, all what happened is good. They are selected, and then I saw my birds. They were going in very good shape, and I put them inside. All the birds I put on brieven because I could not win anything on the other races, so I put them all inside. And it was hard race, 1100 meter, and we were looking with 5-6 people. I look straight for me to the house of the old guy where I had the birds. I see one coming with a white feather. I know I need to clock for first national. He come over my head like 5 centimeter over my head, and he go against the Sputnik. And he fell off because he was so, and then it was on the ground like this, and then go up, peep, and then first national, and he stayed. So and then all the others also came. I think I had 10 in the top 100. I basket 32, 25 or 6 were a national in the result. And then I continue racing. So that one I didn't race anymore. And then one of the ones of some I took was a Charlie pigeon, so still a famous bird. And then normally now I don't sell any good birds anymore, but then after the racing season I sold the national winner and the Charlie pigeon and all the investment I did the year before. That I was bankrupt. In one time I had everything back, and then I say now we quit selling good birds and we built up, and now we see the result of the value of the youngsters. So
it was a good start.
But this was special because and then when Tetsko won the first national was also special because
I thought you would choose her.
No,
she
yeah.
Already 2 times provincial before she.
Was also very special, and then was also a story because as yearling she raced okay, but not top. She was not like I wanted, and then my father was, oh no, she should stay at home, don't basket her again, you will lose her, blah 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 blah. Then he was on the weekend, just the weekend for the basketing of Brief. I say you go in, you go to the national Brief, the first long distance race, and then he didn't know she was inside, and then the pigeon need to come. Van den Ede clocked. I had 8 minutes left, so after 4 minutes out of the hole, so she came. When she won 3 times, the fastest of all the release was 3 times the same a bit east. She came. My father was, oh, what pigeon is that? I didn't tell you. Yes.
It was a double surprise for him.
Yeah, and when this year the sister fly, the second national Limoges was also from the same hole. Also nice story because all the story with Hoijmans. I told Hoijmans, I saw him in Pattaya. I say I have to thank you. Why? I know you don't like the story with the ring and blah blah blah. But at the end, my bird was third national. They disqualified you. I'm the second one, and the same bird. Win Kurt Plateau's pigeon with 0.01%. So it's from 3 to 2.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I also told Kurt, sorry, Kurt. I'm sorry, but it's like this.
Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, also for Olympiade, because now I have also first Olympic bird, category C, also second, but first. And normally the pigeon, the white pigeon would win.
He was called Wout.
But it's better. Matt is
better. Thank you.
Everybody do what.
These were the questions. Also asked on our socials to send us some questions that they would like to hear your answer to. So I will ask some of those questions in this podcast. But now I think we see you racing with the same pigeons every week. Often in very hard circumstances. It really became a trademark of Tom van Gaveren, I guess.
Yeah, it's already 10 years or 15 years. I told you it began 2009, 2010. I was a younger guy. I raced with the birds good. I see I got good birds, and then I say I have to work a whole year for the pigeon to raise it 5 times. I say, and every week we can raise. And my birds come home. On Monday I check them. Oh, they're really good. Why? That's to stay 2 weeks at home. Doesn't make sense. I tell my father and also the other guy, we basket again. I'll go inside on Thursday. Oh no! And what you do? And it's not happening. And they go inside. Okay. The result was very good, and then. We continue, okay, when you do it with a lot of birds, first years, the garbage go out, and then at the end it was always the same birds, the same strain come in the front, and the others go. So it's all bit selection, and then, it's still the dream pair from before is now still in my basic bird, so it's still the same strain that can do it. Of course, you are a pigeon fancier. You need to be with your pigeons. You need to see if one good bird is not okay, then you should not. You don't have to basket. But when the bird is okay, you have to forget what happened before, and you can basket, because I also made stupid mistakes losing good birds, and I see they were not okay, and I put them inside, and when it's 100 kilometers, they will come home. But when it's 700, they will never come home. You lose them.
You really have to check if it's possible or not.
Yeah.
That's the pigeon fancy, right? It's not, I race every week. Everything go in. I don't care about anything. No, you need to be. That's the pigeon fancy, right? So you need to be with the birds.
There are weeks some pigeons don't go.
This year I had 2 hens, and both very good hens, and they fly in the front in the weekend, and I see I already see on Sunday it was spread out with 3 weeks. One I see, she is not okay, but she competing for ace bird, so if you compete for ace bird, you don't have many chances, so you need to put them inside. And then I see a lot with the training. I can see my birds in the sky also when they're over 70 or 80. My good ones I see. I see they fly, but one you see she is not okay. And then the big thing to see it is on Wednesday we will drive. We always drive east 50. Around 50 kilometer, we will release every Wednesday morning, very early, and then the pigeon we release in 2 groups. So first the hens and then the cocks. So the hens come, and all the good ones always when 20 birds come, all the super ones are with the 21. They are there. And if the super ones are 5 minutes behind, and you already have your doubts by putting them in the basket, no good. Then 12 o'clock on Wednesday, so they get always bought on Monday or Sunday, but I always give bought Wednesday afternoon. I come home from the work around 1 o'clock, they all get bought, and then the one I don't think are okay, and if they don't go inside, and the training was not good, and this and that, no, leave at home.
Like a test for you, the basketing on Wednesday morning plus the bath? Because
we have to, for the long distance, we have to basket Wednesday evening, so... You don't have too much time to think and to they are inside, and then the same bird I leave it at home, because before 3-4 years ago I would say no, I don't see it, put inside, gone. And now I just leave it at home. I don't put it in some speed race, just at home in the aviary, food, drink, what she wants. She was sitting alone in the aviary. Then basket again the next week, fly the first national zone, so same bird. Fly it at the end, 7th national ace, and the other one, the same, but I had the same problem with her, and also the last race, she fly in the front for national ace, all around. So both had to have one prize. I leave them 1 week, and then the next week there. It's a bit against my principle, but you need also to listen to the birds. I also get older, and I also learn things, so... Most things you learn by do something stupid. So,
yes. True. You have to make mistakes to learn them.
Yeah, of course, the pigeon, it's a long way. Everything can happen on the way as well, but...
So basketing every week is just selection, find the right pigeon.
Yes.
But I can also imagine that you have a role in that from Saturday until basketing again, that you do something for recovery or something?
I do every week the same. Of course, sometimes it's very difficult, because sometimes on the long distance we basket Wednesday, they come home Sunday, because in Belgium they like the basket, they like to be in the place all the week. Because sometimes they ask me what you did for the birds. Yeah, they were 1 week in a basket. I don't know. They get water and corn. So of course, when they are home, everything starts. First come home, they get the heavy food. Always, and the drinking water with me, they get rundfried, amino forte, but they have to eat a lot when they come home. They are hungry. It's much better, because when, like on Saturday, the pigeon come home from the long distance. If 10 are at home, maybe still early, I start to separate. I don't care. They come home, the pigeon are tired, they want to eat, they don't want to be blah 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 in the loft.
More important to eat and to rest.
More important.
And do you feed them right away after they come home, or do you wait for an hour or so?
No, the box with the food is still full from when I basket. And the loft was empty. So first need to eat everything out. Then in the Sunday morning I give also heavy food, and then I give light food. So. The best is to race Saturday, come home, and Thursday basket. That would be in my head perfect. I can race every week 700-800. Now it's Wednesday evening basket again. But this year I broke the record. So I had one hen. I had 4 hens. I tried 4 hens basket 10 weeks in a row on the long distance. Saturday or Sunday come home. Wednesday in a basket. So and I got one hen did 10 on 10. and 9 times she was in the front. So yeah, super.
That's amazing. And do they train around the place then?
Yes,
only on Wednesday, I guess?
No, my birds. The cocks come out Monday morning. Monday morning I check already. They go out. I see the ones who are stiff is not good, but mostly they are good. I don't. I'm not there to make them scared. They can train, come inside, and the hens only train 1 time a day. So the hens will go Monday evening. They will train, and the hens already train. They will train half an hour, 45 minutes sometime. Then on Wednesday, I like they train with more speed, and then on Wednesday is already we drive, and Wednesday evening basket. And the other ones stay until Thursday. They also go, and Friday my loft is empty, and I can go do some other things.
And you told that you do a road training on Wednesday.
Yes.
From the east. Why from the east?
Because I think the birds always Antwerp will pull a bit the birds. I think so. I also now they kicked me out of my club, but in my club I raced against all guys who live east of me. Yeah. So we have a lot of west wind normally. So
that's an advantage for the other people, right?
Yeah, but still I was very good, and they kicked me out.
Geert de Schepper asked, what does Tom do to let his pigeons recover rapidly after a race? You already...
My friend already gave him the answer, give them a lot of food.
And what food do you...
I use the ID mixture, the heavy food, but I also mix with the one from Bayer's heavy food. So they all say they have the best food, so I say, okay, then we put this a bit together.
I had a Zoom interview with you some years ago. You already said that you like to mix.
I like to mix a bit.
Kinds of mixtures.
So that is when they come home. But the thing is, the day after, I like to clean. And most people think clean is give medication. No, that's the worst you can do. You need to clean with food and with very light food. But the problem is, at the end of the season, we have the long distance and you don't have much time, but the pigeons are in top condition then. But in the beginning, you have the time, and like Sunday evening and Monday, they get light food. So I use this year Van Robaeus, the Relax, and I put together with Detox from Matador. So always Detox, and with Bayers they have a very good grit mix. Detox it's called. It's very expensive, but it's super. It's with I don't know the word swavel, the black, also curcuma inside. It's very good grit mix. My pigeons they eat every 3 days a box. So
I like it very much.
Yeah, you have a lot of things, but it's always when the inside of the bird is okay, the other thing also come. And if all your birds look like mirrors and you have 2 sit like this, then you mostly know what you need to do. Not treat all your birds. No, put away the 2.
No, indeed,
And also, but people ask what is the secret for one loft tray. I don't know, but I believe in strong birds with a high vitality, with high. The pigeons need to be,
have to be strong. Immunity.
Strong, immunity.
But not heavyweight. I think your pigeons are more lightweight than average.
We don't need to have big pigeons. That I can tell of all the pigeons I saw in the one loft race. Very big, heavy ones I didn't see. Most are smaller type, nervous. Now in the one loft race they give enough food, but like before I think they give food and it was not enough to feed.
No, indeed. So the small ones have enough, but the big ones don't.
Because if you have a pigeon like this, it will eat 2 times as much as the little ones.
That's what humans do.
And I still believe in the secret for one loft race. I don't think there are many secrets, but still is important. You need to select your birds at home in the races in Germany or in France or in Holland or in Belgium. It's very important because some race you send 3,000 and then in the final maybe 200-300 left. Okay, it's no good result. But when we race in Belgium, I win 100 youngsters, and after 3 years, maybe I got 5 or 6. It's the same. It's also selection, and also from the 100 come from nice pairs, and but we need the good ones. So we select for the good ones, and if you win, it's all about winning and have early pigeon. But yeah, it's all about breeding, selecting. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of other questions regarding your feeding system. One was from Carlos Martins, and he asked, does Tom use peanuts to feed his pigeons?
Yeah, the cocks get a lot of peanuts, but the hens don't get peanuts.
And what's the reason?
But the hens recover much faster as the cocks.
They don't need it.
Yeah, they have enough with the heavy food. After 2-3 days. They sit around.
Set to go.
But the cocks, and when people can have the choice, maybe I don't have time enough. Just choose for hens. You can put them all day in the every. They train, come inside. You give them food, put them inside in the dark, and it's over.
It's okay.
Cocks, you need to be there more. They need to. The cocks I have much more work because. I also try to take it a bit easy, but the cocks I feed grit mix in all the boxes, then they get peanuts and all, then get more peanuts, then till they are really full.
Spend on the
the hens just give food, they eat, you give a bit more, they eat again. You give a grit mix, they eat, and then okay, we have enough, and then it's okay.
That's a good advice, I think, for people who don't have.
Yeah, and with me, the hens only get the food in the average, but when they are full, like 7:30, 8 in the evening, they go inside, and inside, so they where they sleep. There is no food, there is no drink, there is nothing. It's empty loft, but they can sit. I have lockers, I can all lock them down, but I don't do it. They sit.
They know the system.
Yeah, and every year I have one lesbian pair, mostly. They sit on the ground and they kick everybody out. So the others sit there. And when they come to horny, they go in the basket. So it's over.
We received a question from Gerard van Pamel and Gert Noels, and I want to combine them because they're quite the same. Do you feed your pigeons that have to raise on short distance or middle distance and long distance in the same way? Are they on the same loft, or do you have different compartments?
When we start the season with the speed race, they get also already the heavy food at the end. Okay,
first weeks.
I will give more longer light food because on Sunday we have speed race, and then only the basket is next Saturday. So It's good for me because after 2 weeks my birds are it need to be further because
they have the energy.
But I like in the speed race they come home and they have over. I don't want to feed them. They need to.
Not
it's training.
Them on the limit.
They will, because the speed guys they will feed on the limit to. But when the weather is not good and they have to sit one day longer, then.
There's a problem.
Then they have problems.
Not good for the condition.
No.
The goals are more later on in the season.
But when the headwind is there, they need to have good paper to beat me with the speed race. When there's tailwind, okay, then I got a lot in the basket. Maybe I have one early, but I don't know. But when it's 1200 meter, you can look. We will compete, yes. But then we go further, and then the birds will lose a bit of speed because they are on the longer distance. But this year I had one pigeon on the middle distance. Also last year in 2022 she was on the track, but I made a mistake to put her also 2-3 weeks on the national race, and she did not bad, but she didn't fly too early. But I lose the 3 weeks with a lot of birds. And if I kept her on the distance, she would already be top ace bird in 2022, but okay.
Now she was first national ace pigeon.
Yeah, but this year I say, you stay. And also now we need to basket on Thursday as well for the middle distance, and before was Friday. So then the pigeon will sit there all alone on Friday, and now Thursday she's also in the basket. And it was okay.
Loft is empty.
And it was very nice when you have a good one on the race, because all the big race will come. But it was nice to warm up, you know. People came from the streets to watch that bird, and with the headwind was there. We look to the hole now. Look, bug and there. It's like it come like this, but it's phenomenal result, and she is also first Olympic, and she's bred by my friend, the Crève, Martin. Yes, it's a real speed pigeon, Heremans strain.
Nice.
If I would put her in 600, would not be okay, but I all tried, so yeah. But on 300-400, you need to have good paper to beat her. Yes.
I think you have your own strain of pigeons. We talked about Ricky, Finn pair. But now, like you said, the pigeon Sabine of the Crève.
Yeah.
How do you select birds?
No, we just switched some birds and we try them. And I try them, and we will see the result. And in the beginning of his birds, because I wanted to race more long distance, and I see they were limited, but before they were very good. So, but it's also nice to have good ones for 300-400 or for speed. She is selected in my way, in my loft. She did all the process. Already give good youngster, and this one you can now put in a breeding loft, and you can cross with your own strain, and hopefully good results. But I believe in this because I did in your loft. System, yes. Also the birds I buy or switch, it's very difficult to keep up the high level of the vitality and the thing. So I always cross with my own. And I had birds, I paid good money for them, and I see already when they breed a youngster, they are nice. We breed youngster, and every round the quality of the youngster go down, and the pigeon also, I see, go down. Less every round, and already I see it's not good. It needs to go out. Maybe it's good to bring inside 25%, but...
not more.
No.
Okay.
And your big horse.
He did already good, huh? No?
You have a T-shirt next to you?
Yeah.
People that only are listening can't see it, but is that from the last time, right? Who asked the best question?
We had a winner. We have a winner. With previous podcast, we asked people to react, maybe give some feedback or have questions. And the winner could win this T-shirt.
And who decided who the winner?
It is Matthias van Turnhout. He won this T-shirt. I will contact him.
Show to the camera.
Yeah, I will contact him.
For the guys who are listening, it's a checkered pigeon on a T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Italian design.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
It's the same as we showed last time. I will send it to him. I will contact him. But he also had a question, and that was what we asked last time, and maybe we can ask Tom to answer this question. Matthias is a young fancier, and he had a question about how you can switch from a short distance to long distance. He experienced the problem that it takes 2-3 times before you know the pigeons are good enough or not, and when it turns out they're not good enough, you have to start all over again. What would you say to Matthias to make the switch to the long distance and how to start?
Yeah, but I also one day we also raced middle distance, and you want to go play further, but it's mostly the bird can do it or not. Of course you have all-round bird. They are there every week, but everybody is searching for that bird. So
it's difficult to. Yeah,
but mostly the pigeon, they don't know how the distance will be when they are in the basket. But I think the pigeon, a real speed pigeon, every week race speed, they know. They know basket Saturday, Sunday morning, go. The long distance bird, they know Wednesday, they go inside, they are calm, they know, okay, we will drive 2-3 days with his, with the trailer. They like in the beginning of the season, it's always, because the speed pigeons are all like this, and our slower.
Calm.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and then in the basket, it's fight. That's better with the hands. So. And in the beginning, my first ones are always hands. Always. The cocks are.
But the question from.
But the question,
Question from Matthias is how to switch from short distance to longer distance and how to find the right pigeons, right? Is that his question? Yeah, I think it's also a matter of investigating which loft you want to invest or want to get some pigeons and look at their results
the right pigeons for the right distance.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. Don't try to turn short distance pigeons into long distance pigeons. That would not work, I think.
I think you have I always say you have two kinds of pigeons. You have the marathon bird, and then you have like an all-round bird. Like I want to breed really all-round ones. I want my birds to win on 200 kilometers, but I also want them to win 700. But I know 900, that's
too much.
No, that's too far. Unless it's a lot of tailwind, but still, for a marathon, you need pigeons fly whole day, but they will be slower. Like I was one time with Justus Meter, who's very famous on the extreme long distance, and he told me I got here a loft, all the brown pigeons. It's now very hot. The brown pigeons very. And then he got his extreme long distance birds, so they also drive with the birds like 50 or 100 kilometers, and they release all together. The brown pigeon are home, straight home, and then 10 minutes later come the other ones. 10 minutes, so on 50 kilometers, same release. So you see, but the browns will go 3, 4, 5 hours, and then it's empty. I think. And then the other ones will go all the way. It depends if you want to do marathon race, don't expect your bird on the speed race to be there. But my birds, my strain is from 200 till 750, and then 750 is okay. That's the limit. I see on my birds, that's the limit.
So it's the discipline you want to play. You want to race on that. You have to search for the right bird.
And also in the beginning of the season, the 700 will be difficult because the pigeon don't have the top condition already. But in the end of the season, they are in full condition, and they will go higher than they maybe can. They will go they go over the limit. Because they are in top condition. I can win then also 750 kilometer with 1000 meter. But the same race in the beginning of the season, they would kill me.
Better to skip maybe.
So it's all about testing, and through the years you will know. And advice for him: try to find fanciers. You have a lot of good fanciers with not too many birds, and you can buy late youngsters or eggs or I don't know what. A lot of people look at PIPA, but a lot of good pigeon guys, you can still...
Even in the neighborhood?
Of course.
Absolutely. And he should be patient as well.
And not
don't
after
expect
1 year,
after 1 year everything.
One step at a time.
Yes.
And also know the people, because you need also like the guy of the... Maybe he has very good pigeon, but you don't like him, so no. If they really want to help you, mostly it will be okay, but in pigeon sport you have a lot of people. So
yes, and there's still a lot for free to get.
Yeah, of course.
Also true. For this podcast, it's an apron. You can use it in the kitchen or in the loft, you can choose. You're a good cook?
No.
No,
absolutely
not.
So I can make.
You won't invite us to come over and eat?
Of course. It's 4 hour drive for you, so be welcome. I can make you some pancakes.
Maybe when we're passing through.
Maybe we go to the north. Always welcome.
But now the apron is. People can win it if they have a good question or remark about this podcast. They can send it to redactie@pipa.be. So,
and it's also asking questions for the next one, maybe?
Maybe.
And who will be the next one?
We don't know yet, for sure. We have some ideas, but it's not 100%
I'm
sure.
looking at you. I heard you were
maybe
busy.
I'm working on it.
Guy,
Holland's turn now.
Now it's the Dutch fancier.
Yeah, we try to find a Dutch fancier, but we will find some. We'll just leave it as a surprise.
We can't.
Is there anyone you would like to have in the podcast? You would listen to?
I will think about it. Maybe Esge, you can come.
What am I going to say?
I don't know.
Talk about the one loft races you visited.
That's true. Or I can mention the first video I made for you.
Yes.
He's really like a visionary because he started actually PIPA TV movies.
Perfect.
Yes, and I paid for it. Like that. Afterwards, they all get it for free.
Yeah. PIPA clients. So you're a trendsetter not only with the pigeons.
Yeah.
But for the listeners, Esgy is making a lot of movies and pictures as well, and especially for the one love races. So explanation.
Very professional.
Yeah. Talking about the one love races, I had a question from Vincent Beguier. And he asks how Tom chooses the breeding pairs for one love races. I don't know, are you crossing, especially for one love
I think it's good for one love race to cross a little, but I use all the same pairs for racing in Belgium, and then the third or the fourth round I also send, but a lot of people they buy a pigeon of you in the auction, and then they will breed with it, and they will send it to the race. I always say, what's the success of one loft race? First, your birds need to be inside, otherwise you cannot win. No. And if a lot of birds of your strain are inside, you have more chance to win. Maybe you don't send them yourself, but others will send them. But I think crossing is good to send, maybe for breed, because a lot of people like inbreed now. It's good, maybe one inbreed and then with another bloodline, but it's always good to stay very close to the basic bloodline. I know it's maybe sometimes it's expensive, but it's better for me. It's better to buy directly from the base cock or the base hen or the base pair one than buy 10 grandchildren, because at the end you will pay the same and stay close. When you're visionary, you can maybe buy from the next one, but cheap and then go expensive. But you don't know in the front.
As far as I can tell, it seems to me you created an adventures on a lot of other fanciers by racing like you do, with very
and always try to give quality.
The selection you did. Racing all those years like you do, but every week racing in all circumstances. Do you feel like you have a couple of years of advantage to a lot of fanciers now because of doing this for a lot of years already?
Yeah. Back in the days it was difficult because and also one loft race, it didn't exist. Now the one loft race come and probably my birds have success, but like the winner with Brinkman, that was the first big success in one loft race. He came from horses. He don't know anything about pigeon. The first time he came with me, he said, I never handled a pigeon before. But he know the idea. I need to have from the best ones and then create something. And that's with one loft race, because when you are new in the pigeon sport and you need to come race in Holland or Belgium against guys who race 20-30 years,
Hendrik Brinkman from Germany, he won the extra final in Victoria Falls with a 100% Van Gogh pigeon.
Yeah, right? But the 4 grandparents were 4 super birds.
Yeah, perfect.
All raced and all with tailwind, with headwind, with sidewind, every week inside the basket.
The selection was there. And he bought the right pigeon, like you said, the short to the straight.
Yes. I was not so big back then, but he looked to the result. He's a computer, so he looked.
Yeah, and he's now building his family around it, right?
Yeah.
So
the base stay mine, and he created his own brand.
Plus, he has the first Olympiad pigeon now
from the same strain.
From the same strain, Little Junior, he calls it.
With some from Thomas.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, you
successful. You don't need to know about pigeons a lot to have success.
But now they learn. But when you come inside and you don't know anything, it's very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then it's better to advise people to go to race in the one love racing than just the regular program, because it's what Tom says, too difficult to interfere.
The super talents can learn fast, but it's very difficult.
Like you say, I think. When you have the right pigeon, you can have success in one loft races more rapidly.
Yes.
Than when you have to make sure they're in top condition yourself on your own loft. It's a process you have to learn. It takes years to. The feeding the pigeon, training the pigeons, selecting them, the vitality.
When you are doing it 20 year or 10 year, it all looks very easy and it's all normal. But when you come
First
inside,
layers,
it's
like a chicken or a pigeon. People think it's the same, but of course it's not.
Jori, did you participate in one-loft racing already?
No, never.
Not yet?
Not ever did it.
Do you feel like trying or?
Yeah, I always said I want to do it. I want to try it. But maybe you have some.
Well, I was thinking about sending a team to Spain, to Alberto Albajo. That's a nice one-loft race. Yeah. But I might not be able to send 10, so maybe you can add a few for me. I mean, that's a good idea to try for the first time.
And then you come with us to the final in Spain. We have good times.
Yeah, Sevilla. It's a good place to be, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice. We was there, so we know the way already. So
perfect.
Okay. Go and talk about it.
Yeah, but it's also a bit advice for the one loft race. When you're new, don't send immediately to the big ones. You have a lot of smaller ones. Absolutely. Also, you can test your birds, and then you will see some pairs will be good, other will be not good, and then maybe from pairs you have result 2, 3. Then you can send to the big ones because it's all a lot of money. Yeah, so 500
that's a good
euros,
advice. Absolutely.
Yeah. And everybody see only the winner, but you have 90% losers. So yes.
I think even 95 or more. That's correct. No, that's a good advice.
Also a bit marketing model after all the thing, because all the pigeon get sold afterwards when they have good papers. Maybe you can also win some money back with the sale of the bird. So all the one loft is nice. Is a nice thing to do, but it's all a bit marketing model. Like in what they do in Pattaya, everybody can calculate us, so it's nice business.
That's correct. Yeah.
But if you do it good, people like to send, and when you don't do good, they will not send anymore.
When you're here in Belgium for last year, the young birds were
we had
start racing. A lot of young birds were lost. So I think it's just the same. It's a selection like Tom did first years.
Now
a lot
also
of pigeons can't do it, but the ones they can.
But one slightly negative remark. Sometimes you see races and then they lose like from 3,000 pigeons, they have 200 in the final. I don't think that's really
bad.
That's bad management maybe, or too many pigeons in the loft, or maybe some diseases in there. That's what I like about Dubai a lot now. That's a race that looks really good, healthy pigeons. They didn't increase the distance last time, so also look at the weather conditions, and they don't want to ruin the pigeons, so I think that's good management.
They're flexible.
Yeah, flexible.
They can do. They have a one loft race. They can do this. In Belgium, it's not. You know when they change in Belgium a race, or they change the date, or what happened then. You know. Everybody's screaming. When they are good, it's all okay. When it's not good, it's all not good. It's
the same for all the pigeons in one loft race.
That's right.
You always have to put the pigeon first. Yeah. And also when you pay 500-600 euro, they can train. They can work with them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they have to make distance before the final.
Yeah, maybe your final is not good, but your pigeon was 25 times in the basket, so it is tested. Yeah. Maybe in the final it's gone, or it didn't race good, but you have maybe 5 results. He was in the top before. Yeah, your pigeon was tested. Because you pay. I think you pay for. I don't enter to win the big money. No, I enter to test my birds. Of course, when you win a big amount, it's very nice. But I think with the money you give, they need to train, work with them, and when you see they do it good, maybe the result is not okay at the end. But when they do it good, you will have a happy feeling and satisfied, and the next year you will send again.
Yes.
It's
maybe it's nice to end with this inside of Tom about the one loft race.
Yeah, absolutely. One commercial question.
Yes.
You have an auction coming up, right?
Yes, I got an auction, and a lot of people asking. So
when is it coming?
No, a lot want to come out at home because.
Of course. Yeah.
But they can buy in the auction. I have in 3 weeks, and I have a very exclusive pairs. So from all my best ones, the first ones now will be for sale. I didn't sell any yet. So from new Tetske was paired with Finn. The first will come online. Nobody has. From the first Olympic, Jamie with the super brother Finn, nobody has, will come online. The first two from the Holland Pigeon, that was first Ace and first Olympic also with the son of Ricky, the first come online. Then from all the other best ones, I will have a nice group.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yes. So they can see in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like you did before.
Yeah, nice, but always people have to push the button. So, I don't push buttons. So,
yeah, no, that's correct.
Made sure you had a nice group again.
Yeah, you have to offer something. Yeah. People always want things they didn't have yet, or something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why pigeons, you need to perform to be successful. Commercial, you need to perform every year. Maybe in one loft race, or maybe in Belgium or in Holland. I think it's important to perform every year and be sharp and try the best. And every year need new good pigeons. So yeah,
that's what you're going to do in 24 too.
Yeah, we all try. Yes.
Some nice insights, Javi. Yeah, perfect.
I think it's a nice concept, and I think a lot of people will listen to it.
Was in the first one we had a lot of good comments and a lot of viewers and listeners.
Positive people, yes.
But now also good. It's maybe in English.
We will reach more people, I guess.
Because PIPA is very worldwide.
That's true.
And maybe we'll get more questions for the next time. So it will be harder for people to win the up run, right?
I guess it will be.
The battle is on. Maybe we can put in one extra T-shirt then, if we have enough questions. All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So, bye-bye.
See you.
And now I have a wooden ass.